Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
Yes, he is. And we have some news updates for you from around Thailand today, Wednesday, January 8th. Now, before we begin, please remember to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. Now, today, we will be talking about some puppies and babies being rescued from danger.
Nice.
Upcoming celebrations as same-sex marriage in Thailand nears its debut. And a little later, a little more concerning, the assassination of a former Cambodian MP here in Bangkok. But first, we have an update on the Chinese actor who went missing at the Thailand-Myanmar border. He has been found.
Oh.
That's right. Chinese actor Wang Xing, missing at the Thailand-Myanmar border, has been found safe, according to the Chinese Consulate General in Chiang Mai. Wang, also known as Xing Xing, reportedly traveled to Thailand for a casting opportunity but lost contact after signaling for help in Mae Sot on Friday. Thai authorities and the Chinese consulates coordinated to locate him, and he returned from Myanmar to Mae Sot on Tuesday. Wang's girlfriend, Jia, raised the alarm on social media, prompting widespread attention. Chinese and Thai officials have expressed gratitude for the collaborative efforts ensuring Wang's safety.
Good for Wang.
Yeah, he found safe. That's wonderful. Apparently, the Prime Minister is now getting in on this and trying to make some moves about this issue because he's just a high-profile case. But this kind of stuff, it happens a lot.
And the last thing we want is fear. Fear in China for tourism purposes, for business purposes. I mean, China and Thailand have a great relationship, and the last thing you want Thailand to be associated is with kidnapping and human trafficking.
Yeah, absolutely.
It happens.
I mean, that's one of the things. He's such a high-profile guy that it's like, oh, if it can happen to him, it can kind of happen to anybody.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, whoa.
Scary stuff. And it was huge news in China. We went a little viral with this story, too, on TikTok. They are none too pleased with this. But again, here, hopefully, this also goes viral. The good news that he was found safe. But
I feel like every good man needs like a confrontational girlfriend or partner. Because then if you do go missing, they're going to create a havoc.
Yes, exactly. Somebody who will go and raise hell for you.
You know they're going to like take some punches. They ain't going to say no.
Good on you, Judge.
But
Love
if you go a passive partner, then, bro, you're done.
Yeah, no, agreed completely. All right, anyways, on to our next story.
On to our next story. Our next story talks about a transgender woman who's been assaulted by a foreigner on Pattaya Beach. More bad foreigner news coming from Pattaya. A transgender woman, known as A, reported being assaulted by a foreign man on Pattaya Beach. The man allegedly insulted, mocked, and later punched her before fleeing on a motorbike. The incident, witnessed by tourists and captured on video, occurred after the man made derogatory remarks and attempted to pay others to attack her.
Jesus.
Despite injuries, A provided CCTV evidence and witness accounts to the police, urging swift action. Now, highlighting similar unreported incidents, she stressed the importance of protecting Thailand's image and ensuring safety for both locals and tourists. What the hell?
A scumbag. Like, paying other people to go and attack her? Like, what is this? I don't understand. Is this something like where he, like, maybe tried to pick her up and then got embarrassed when he found out she was transgender?
It's possible. Or he could, look, it is Pattaya, and you do get approached as well.
Yeah.
And maybe he was approached and just went outright angry for some reason and just decided to assault someone.
Yeah, exactly. Good on her for speaking up, because I imagine these kinds of things happen and then it just sort of slips through the law enforcement cracks. But it seems like there's plenty of evidence, and this guy should have some punishment coming his way.
Yeah.
Just disgusting behavior. Pretty gross.
Whether he was approached or whether he was the one approaching, either way, that's way out of line. Yeah. And by the way that the story was told, I have a feeling that this is an expat or perhaps a person who's kind of residing in Pattaya rather than a tourist. We'll wait for more information out on that. But come on, Pattaya. Come on, Pattaya. Get your shit together.
You can't really be surprised about transgender people in Thailand at this point. I feel like it's
like one of the safest countries for transgender people as well. I mean, if you don't feel safe here, then man,
it's a tough world out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're still a lot of battles for the LGBT rights. Still happening. But anyways, good on you, A, for speaking up.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to our next story. You don't have any children, do you?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, me neither. And that's a good thing because apparently some people can be forgetful.
Uh-oh.
A 3-year-old was rescued from a locked car in Uthai, Thani. So, a 3-year-old boy nicknamed All New was rescued after being trapped inside a locked car for nearly 50 minutes at Lansak Market in Uthai, Thani. The child accidentally locked himself in while his mother, a grilled chicken vendor, was working nearby. Police and a locksmith worked together to unlock the car, freeing the distressed and overheated boy. His mother expressed deep gratitude to the responders and urged parents to never leave children unattended in vehicles. Agreed completely. Yeah, this is one of those things where, like, I guess the kid locked himself in, and then all of a sudden he's stuck in there because he doesn't know how to undo it. But fortunately, first responders were able to get there fast. And I know it is winter here in Thailand, but it still is very, very hot. So yeah, make sure to keep an eye on your kids, especially if you're taking them to work.
Yeah, locked in a car. I don't see that happening a lot in Thailand. It's actually quite normal to kind of bring your child into work kind of day. I think most offices would be cool with that. We're cool with it, but yeah, man.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things, right? Like the kids can cook in there. He was almost an hour in there, so that's pretty tough. But in any case, happy ending to that story.
All right, we're going to move on to our next story. Unfortunately, some more tragic news. A British holidaymaker dies in Thailand motorbike crash, and as his family pays tribute. Corey Beavis, a 28-year-old from South Wales, tragically died in a motorbike crash in Phuket, Thailand on January the 4th. Riding without a helmet, Corey lost his life in this accident. His twin brother, Liam, shared a heartfelt tribute, calling Corey his best friend and vowing to honor his memory. The family is raising £35,000 for his repatriation, with over £10,000 donated in 24 hours. Described as a vibrant and loving individual, Corey left a lasting impression on those around him. The UK Foreign Office is supporting the grieving family. Now, this story is actually doing the rounds around Thailand, and also the BBC reporting on it as the individual is a British national.
Yeah, that is, I mean, and it just sucks for so many reasons, right? Like a twin, like that is a deep bond and connection that is irreplaceable. So you really feel for him. But also at the same time, the warning is out. Like if you are, especially if you're inexperienced on motorcycles like many tourists are, you have to wear the helmets, man. Like that is absolutely like non-negotiable when you're driving around out there.
I mean, Thailand does the whole, 10-day New Year, extreme police checkup, like no drink driving, no speeding. But guys, we're still in high season until March. The current amount of tourists is at an all-time high. And yeah, motorbike rentals, like you don't need a license, you don't need any insurance to get a motorbike, no protection, nothing. You might be on holiday, you're a bit more relaxed, but danger still is everywhere. So be careful out there.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the footage, that was the wild part about it. There was nobody around him, really. He was just sort of like cruising and doing his own thing, maybe taking a corner a little too fast, and that's when it can happen. It get like, you're relaxed, you're enjoying yourself, you're running around, and your guard lets down, and all of a sudden, tragedy strikes. So just a word of warning and a word of caution to all of the tourists and expats. I mean, really everybody who lives here in Thailand, you got to wear helmets, man. And I'm glad to see the police are enforcing it a bit more, too. So be careful, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on to our next story. Some happier news. Bangkok is set to celebrate a historic day as 300 same-sex couples are set to be wed. And that's coming up on January 23rd as Thailand's marriage equality law takes effect. Around 300 of the same-sex couples are expected to marry in Bangkok. Preparations include special activities at district offices such as Bang Rak, nicknamed Love Hamlet, which will host many couples. Online pre-registration has eased the process, with over 100 couples already signed up, including 67 opting for Siam Paragon. The new law replaces terms like husband and wife with spouse, reflecting progress in gender equality. Foreign Thai couples can also register, though recognition depends on the foreign partner's home country. This landmark law makes Thailand the third Asian territory to legalize same-sex marriage, highlighting advancements in equal rights and social acceptance.
All right, Thailand moving forward. Finally, we've been reporting on this news for years now, and it's finally happening.
Yeah, it is. We're in the month. It's coming up right now. Shocking to me that Thailand's number 3. I have been to Taiwan, which was the first territory to do it, and I believe, is it Nepal? Nepal? Number 2? No.
What about Nepal?
That they legalized same-sex marriage as
Have
well?
they?
I'm pretty sure.
Nepal?
I think
That's
so.
a bit surprising to
Yeah,
me.
Nepal, same-sex
I
marriage.
mean, Nepal's still a fairly religious country.
Yes, indeed. Nepal has provisionally recognized same-sex marriages nationwide April 24th,
Well
2024.
done to Nepal.
See, I'm good. I'm on my news.
Here we go.
But, yeah, Taiwan, it's very funny what a sea change it is for the culture over there. When it is open and accepted and marriage is legalized, it's just it's like a recognition of human rights, man.
Yeah.
And it completely changes the way that society sees that community and the way that the community sees themselves. So very proud of Thailand for making this step forward into the future. And we should be seeing lots of celebrations around the nation soon.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
All right. We're going to move on to our next story, which is regarding a missing dog reward.
This is a weird story.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Our next story is regarding a missing dog reward turned scandal with 100-year Cheque validity. A pet scandal, a search for a missing dog, Tong Di, in Pathum Thani turned controversial when the promised reward check was found to be valid only in 2,125. That's right. Tong Di's owner, Gloy, initially offered 20,000 baht for the dog's safe return after he went missing on New Year's Eve. We saw a local woman found and cared for the dog before returning him, but Gloy claimed another person had found the dog first and issued a check for only 20,000 baht to the restaurant worker where the dog had been spotted. Now, the check's validity date sparked outrage, and Gloy has yet to address the issue because it's only 100 years or 1,000 years.
It's 100 years in the future.
100
yes.
years in the future that you can check it.
Yeah, pretty sneaky, cheeky move. I
Yeah.
don't know how that goes. Like,
As a kid, I always thought about this. I was like, you know, when people are like, oh my God, I'd do anything. I'm going to give you $1 million if you can find my pet. And then if they actually find the pet, we'll be like, well, you know, you did the right thing. There's no legal obligation to pay that money.
yeah, I guess. Still kind of a scummy move when you put that out there, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, you know,
Frowned upon.
Look.
Definitely frowned upon in the community.
yeah, for sure.
You're not being invited to the communal party.
Yeah, definitely gonna cause some frowny faces in the community.
Yeah.
But I just think that's kind of funny, like that's her workaround. It's like, oh, sorry, I've dated it wrong, or like, and she's just like, you know, she's zipped her lips about it.
Yeah.
She's not addressing it at all. But yeah, anyways, how would you feel if you were trying to rescue a dog, expected a reward, and found out you weren't going to get paid out until well after your death? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Yeah.
All right,
Cheeky.
there we go.
That was funny. All right. Well, I promised you some Malaysian news, guys, and we are on to our ASEAN section, where our first stop is, in fact, Malaysia and Singapore. Now, Malaysia and Singapore are set to partner on the Johor Economic Zone. That's right. Malaysia and Singapore have formalized a joint initiative to develop a special economic zone, or SEZ, in Johor, aimed at boosting investments and easing cross-border movement. Announced during Singapore PM Lawrence Wong's visit to Malaysia, the project seeks to enhance competitiveness and attract high-value investments in sectors like manufacturing, logistics, tourism, and energy. The SEZ plans to launch 50 projects and create 20,000 skilled jobs in its first 5 years. Both nations will establish infrastructure funds to support businesses in the zone. Additionally, leaders are inviting private sector proposals for a high-speed rail project to further strengthen connectivity. Yeah, so these special economic zones, they exist all over the place. Shenzhen is one of these. We're along the border of Hong Kong and China, which of course is one country now. But not only that, they do them internally in China. They do them in Europe. They do them all over the place. And it's a way that nations can actually get around a lot of the bureaucracy and red tape that comes with, you know, a lot of government oversight. And yeah, it should end up developing a lot of the bilateral relations between the two nations and creating a lot of jobs. So we'll see. I'd love to go visit someday.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next story, which takes us to Indonesia, as Indonesia joins BRICS as a full member. What's BRICS, you ask? Now, Indonesia has officially become a full member of BRICS, joining Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa in the bloc of major emerging economies. Announced by Brazil, which holds BRICS 2025 presidency, Indonesia's entry reflects its commitment to strengthening collaboration among developing nations and advancing global South interests. Jakarta's membership was approved by consensus following the 2023 BRICS summit, but the nation chose to join after President Prabowo Subianto's October inauguration, with its focus on reforming global governance and fostering cooperation. Indonesia joins other recent members, including Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE, in expanding BRICS influence.
So this is controversial because of some of the members of BRICS who are not really playing nice with a lot of their neighbors. You have countries like, obviously, Russia in there, China as well, and even Iran. So there's a lot of talk about countries like Thailand joining this economic pact as well. A little bit torn myself. I see it as both good in helping developing nations to have access to more markets, to be able to improve their economies. And I always think more international cooperation leads to more peace, generally speaking. But at the same time, is this sort of validating some of the bad geopolitical behavior of some of these nations? That's also something to consider as well. Anyways, Indonesia's in. Is Thailand next? That's one of the questions.
Is it? Maybe it is.
We will see.
Who knows?
Time will tell.
Who knows?
It's a serious topic now, guys. We have an assassination that happened here in Bangkok, actually. A former French-Cambodian opposition MP was assassinated in Thailand's capital. Now, Lim Kim Ya, a 73-year-old former French-Cambodian opposition MP, was shot dead near Wat Boonyet Vira in Bangkok's Pranakon district. The assailant, captured on security footage, fled on a red Honda Wave 100 motorcycle after the calculated attack. Known for his political resilience, Kim Ya was a prominent figure in Cambodia's dissolved opposition party, the Cambodia National Rescue Party. Despite holding a French passport, he chose to stay involved in Cambodia's political struggles. His assassination raises concerns over its political motives, with Thai police launching a manhunt as the international community closely monitors the case. There's a lot of high-profile assassinations happening around the world. Very strange to see this happen in Thailand. Because obviously he's not really involved in Thai politics. He's involved in Cambodian ones. But I guess, if you're motivated enough, you can find a way to have anything happen.
Every couple of years we have a case like this where it's like a proper assassination attempt. The last one I remember was a couple of years back involving some Canadian mobsters.
Ooh,
but
scary.
Or gang members rather.
I mean, what do we saw? We saw the United Healthcare guy recently. Shinzo Abe not too long ago.
Yeah, Shinzo Abe.
This is we're not out of those woods, man. And if you're in a leadership position, particularly a controversial one where you're an opposition leader, something like that, the target's on your back. It doesn't really matter how you are involved in politics. Some crazy person can just decide they don't like you enough, and if they're motivated, they can make it happen. Unfortunately.
All right, we're going to move on to our last story that takes us to Taiwan as it launches a digital nomad visa for remote workers. Great news if you want to move to Taiwan, as it has introduced its first digital nomad visa, allowing eligible foreign remote workers to live and work on the island for up to 6 months. Now, aimed at boosting tourism and the economy, the visa targets citizens from visa-exempt countries, including U.S., of course, and and other countries, but they must meet income requirements of $40,000 annually for those 30-plus-year-olds, or $20,000 for ages 20 to 29, and show proof of savings, remote work experience, and international health insurance. Now, Taiwan, known for its safety, LGBTQ plus inclusivity, and attractions like the night markets and national parks, also amazing food, plans to collaborate with South Korea and Japan to enhance digital nomad mobility. Applications can be submitted online, so get going, people.
Yeah, there's just taking one out of our book, right? We have
Yeah.
digital nomad visas over here in Thailand.
Yeah.
And there's people sitting in my car. He's getting one soon. But yeah, this seems like to be the future, as so many people are now remote working, making money off of crypto and things like that. But,
Whoa. So, no, I mean, Natnisha's got a good point. Thai DTV is much more superior. I agree. Like, when it comes to digital nomad visas and, like, now, like, with the visas that are currently available, and if you do have a little bit of money, I think Thailand has some of the best visa options in Southeast Asia or even Asia, dare I say it.
Agreed completely. Yeah. And, that $40,000 is a bit limiting to, it doesn't sound like much if you're coming from a Western country, but other countries like in Southeast Asia, that's a lot of money for a lot of people. It's like kind of limiting the access there. But in any case, I think it's a good move and will diversify Taiwan. Look, I got to say, when I went to Taiwan, much less international influence than what we have here in Thailand.
Okay.
That was my experience, at least. And I think that diversity is generally a good thing.
Yeah.
I
know you speak Chinese, but in terms of like communication or traveling around the city, was it international? Was there a lot of English around?
Not really.
Okay.
It really wasn't. So
that's what you mean by
exactly
the influence.
Yeah, you have to really seek it out if you like. There's only a few places, kind of like how it was when I lived in China. Whereas here in Bangkok, right, you can't throw a stone without hitting a farang, so there's plenty of them here.
I heard like a little disdain in your voice.
I don't know. I'm one of them.
Quick question. For a person like me going to Taiwan, who obviously doesn't speak any Mandarin or other dialects of Chinese languages, would I survive?
Sure. I mean, it's not as, I would say it's not as English friendly as Thailand, that's for sure. But, everybody in Asia is educated in a little bit of English, right? Everybody has learned it in school, but they've all promptly forgotten it. That's a big problem. It's kind of like, how Americans learn Spanish in high school and then they can only speak a few sentences after a little while. Yeah. In any case, I do encourage you to go. Have you been? You haven't been?
I have not been.
Fantastic food,
cheap
indeed.
Flights.
Pretty cheap
affordable flights. I've heard it's a fairly affordable place for a nice 5-day holiday kind of.
Absolutely is. And one of the fun parts about it is that the exchange rate is almost almost bought for Thai. What is it?
Like that.
I can't remember what the Taiwanese money is now. Dollars, I think. But it's exactly the same. So it's easy to do conversions in your head if you're used to Thailand. But,
all right.
Anyways, that'll do it for us, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are some of the stories from across Thailand. You can find more stories, of course, on thetiger.com, and you can join in any of these stories, conversations on
ASEANnow.com.
That's Thailand's largest English forum. For now, we're going to take a dive into the live chat.